Imagine for a moment that the world you see around you, the colors, the shapes, the very fabric of reality, is not as solid as it appears. What if, hidden beneath the surface of your daily life, there exists a secret power, a force so subtle, yet so profound, that it shapes your destiny with every thought, every image, every dream you dare to hold in your mind? Tonight, I invite you to step beyond the veil of the ordinary and enter the realm where imagination becomes creation, where the visions you conjure in the quiet sanctuary of your mind ripple outward, weaving the tapestry of your existence. This is not mere fantasy, nor is it wishful thinking. It is an ancient art whispered through the corridors of time by mystics, sages, and seekers who understood that the mind is not a passive observer, but a potent architect of reality. Have you ever wondered why some individuals seem to manifest their desires with uncanny precision, while others remain trapped in cycles of frustration and longing? The answer, hidden in plain sight, lies in the mysterious power of visualization, a practice as old as humanity itself, yet as relevant today as it was in the temples of Egypt, the monasteries of Tibet, or the secret societies of the Renaissance. In this journey, we will unravel the secrets of visualization in spiritual practice. We will explore its roots in ancient wisdom, decode the mechanisms by which it shapes both the inner and outer worlds, and reveal practical techniques that you can use to awaken this dormant power within yourself. Along the way, we will encounter stories of transformation, paradoxes that challenge the limits of logic, and insights that may forever alter the way you perceive your own mind. Are you ready to discover the hidden force that has shaped the destinies of mystics, magicians, and visionaries throughout history? If so, prepare to see with new eyes, for the journey into the power of visualization begins now. Long before the word visualization entered the modern lexicon, ancient civilizations understood that the mind's eye was a gateway to realms both mysterious and powerful. In the shadowed halls of Egypt's temples, priests and priestesses would close their eyes and journey inward, conjuring images of the gods, the afterlife, and the cosmic order. These were not idle daydreams, but sacred acts, rituals believed to align the soul with the divine blueprint of the universe. Travel east, and you find the yogis of India, seated in silent meditation, weaving intricate mandalas within their consciousness. The Vedic texts speak of dhyana, a state of focused contemplation where the practitioner visualizes deities, symbols, or even abstract concepts, merging their awareness with the object of their meditation. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals to Arjuna a vision of his cosmic form, a moment so overwhelming that it shatters the boundaries of ordinary perception. Here, visualization is not just a tool, it is a bridge between the finite and the infinite. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, visualization is elevated to an art form. Monks and nuns spend years mastering the practice of deity yoga, where they imagine themselves as enlightened beings, surrounded by radiant light and sacred geometry. Through this process, they dissolve the illusion of separation, embodying the qualities of compassion, wisdom, and power. The mind, they teach, is like a painter's brush. What it paints, it becomes. The Western mystery schools, too, held visualization in high regard. The Hermetic philosophers of Alexandria taught that, as above, so below, as within, so without. The Emerald Tablet, shrouded in alchemical symbolism, hints at the creative power of imagination. Renaissance magicians like Marsilio Ficino and Giordano Bruno believed that the soul could ascend to higher realms through the disciplined use of mental imagery, drawing down celestial influences and reshaping the material world. Even in the Abrahamic traditions, visualization finds its place. The prophets of the Old Testament received visions, vivid symbolic images that conveyed divine messages. In Christian mysticism, Saints and ascetics would contemplate scenes from Scripture, immersing themselves so deeply that the boundaries between vision and reality would blur. The Sufis, spinning in ecstatic dance, would visualize the beloved, seeking union with the divine through the heart's eye. What unites these diverse traditions is a profound recognition. The images we hold in our minds are not mere shadows, but seeds of creation. To visualize is to participate in the ongoing act of Genesis, to become a co-creator with the forces that shape the cosmos. The ancients understood that the mind is not a passive mirror, but an active lens, one that can focus, amplify, and direct the subtle energies that underlie all existence. In the modern era, science has begun to catch glimpses of this ancient truth. Neuroscientists have discovered that the brain responds to imagined experiences almost as vividly as to real ones. Athletes use visualization to enhance performance. Artists and inventors dream their creations into being before a single stroke is made. Yet, for all our technological advances, the core mystery remains. How does the act of seeing within transform the world without? As we move deeper into this exploration, we will peel back the layers of this enigma, uncovering the mechanisms by which visualization operates and how you, too, can harness this timeless power. For now, remember, every great work, every spiritual awakening, every leap in human consciousness began as a vision, an image held in the crucible of the mind, waiting to be born. To truly grasp the power of visualization, we must first step into the labyrinth of the mind, a place where thoughts are not mere whispers, but architects of reality. Imagine your consciousness as a vast, echoing chamber, its walls lined with mirrors that reflect not only what is, but what could be. In this chamber, every image you conjure, every scene you paint with your imagination, sends ripples through the fabric of your being, shaping your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. At its essence, visualization is the deliberate act of creating vivid, sensory-rich images within the mind. But this is not simply thinking about something. It is a full-bodied immersion, a surrender to the senses of the inner world. When you visualize, you do not merely see, you feel, you hear, you taste, you touch. The mind, in its mysterious wisdom, cannot always distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. This is the first secret. The mind's eye is a portal, and what passes through it can become as real as the world outside your window. Consider the story of the lotus, a symbol revered in many spiritual traditions. The lotus begins its journey in the mud, unseen and unremarkable. Yet within its core, it holds a vision, a blueprint of the radiant flower it will become. Guided by this inner image, it rises through the murky waters, reaching for the light until it blossoms in full glory. So too with us, the images we nurture within are the seeds from which our lives unfold. Modern science, in its own language, echoes this ancient wisdom. Studies in neuroplasticity reveal that the brain is malleable, constantly rewiring itself in response to our thoughts and experiences. When you visualize an action, say, playing a musical instrument or speaking before a crowd, the same neural pathways are activated as if you were actually performing the task. Over time, these pathways strengthen, making the imagined experience more accessible, more real. In this way, visualization becomes a rehearsal for reality, a way to sculpt the self from the inside out. But the power of visualization extends beyond the personal. In the esoteric traditions, it is said that the universe itself is a grand mind, a living consciousness that responds to the images projected by its myriad parts. The Hermetic axiom, "all is mind," suggests that reality is shaped by thought, that the world is a dream dreamt by the divine. When you visualize, You are not merely influencing your own mind, you are sending a signal into the greater field of consciousness, aligning yourself with the patterns you wish to manifest. Let us return to the metaphor of the painter. Imagine standing before a blank canvas, brush in hand. Each stroke, each color, each detail you add is an act of creation. If you approach the canvas with doubt or confusion, your painting will reflect that uncertainty. But if you hold a clear, vibrant image in your mind, if you see the masterpiece before it exists, your hand will be guided by a force greater than skill alone. This is the art of visualization, to see with the inner eye, to believe in the unseen, and to bring forth that vision into the world of form. Yet visualization is not wishful thinking. It is not enough to simply imagine and wait for miracles to unfold. The images you create must be infused with intention, emotion, and belief. They must be tended like a sacred fire, protected from the winds of doubt and fear. In the next part, we will delve deeper into the nuances of this practice, exploring the obstacles that arise, the paradoxes that confound, and the subtle techniques that transform visualization from a passive daydream into a living force. As we journey deeper into the heart of visualization, we encounter its paradoxes and hidden intricacies, those subtle forces that separate idle fantasy from true spiritual alchemy. For while the act of seeing within is simple, the art of making those visions manifest is a dance between surrender and will, clarity and mystery. One of the greatest challenges in visualization is the shadow of doubt. The mind, conditioned by years of skepticism and disappointment, often resists the idea that imagination can shape reality. It whispers, "This is just a dream, nothing will change." Yet the mystics teach that doubt is the veil that obscures the inner light. To visualize effectively, one must cultivate a childlike faith, a willingness to believe in the unseen, to trust the process even when results are not immediate. Consider the story of the alchemist, laboring in his hidden chamber. He does not simply wish for gold. He envisions the transformation, step by step, feeling the heat of the furnace, the shimmer of the elixir, the moment of transmutation. He knows that the work is both inner and outer, that the image held in the mind must be matched by action in the world. Visualization, then, is not a substitute for effort, but a catalyst that aligns intention with action, thought with deed. There is also a subtle danger in attachment. When we cling too tightly to a specific outcome, we may inadvertently block the flow of possibility. The Taoist sages spoke of wu wei, effortless action, or acting in harmony with the natural order. In visualization, this means holding your vision lightly, allowing space for the universe to respond in its own mysterious way. Sometimes, what manifests is not exactly what we imagined, but something richer, more aligned with our deeper purpose. Another nuance lies in the quality of the images we create. Vague, unfocused visions yield vague, unfocused results. The more vivid, detailed, and emotionally charged your visualization, the more power it holds. The Sufis describe the heart as a polished mirror. When it is clear and undistorted, it reflects the divine image perfectly. In practice, this means engaging all your senses, see the colors, hear the sounds, feel the textures, taste the air, smell the scents. The more real it feels, the more real it becomes. But visualization is not only about personal gain. In the highest traditions, it is a tool for spiritual awakening, a means of dissolving the boundaries between self and other, dream and reality. Tibetan Buddhists, for example, use visualization to embody compassion, imagining themselves as bodhisattvas, radiating light to all beings. In the Kabbalistic tradition, practitioners visualize the tree of life, ascending its branches in meditation to unite with the divine source. Here, visualization becomes a sacred act, a way of participating in the ongoing creation of the world. There are also lesser-known aspects of visualization that are rarely discussed. For instance, the phenomenon of thought forms, energetic constructs created by repeated visualization and emotion. Occultists believe that these thought forms can influence events, attract opportunities, or even take on a life of their own. Whether one takes this literally or metaphorically, it points to the profound impact our inner imagery can have on the outer world. Finally, it is important to recognize that visualization is not a solitary practice. The collective imagination of humanity shapes the destiny of our species. When groups come together to hold a shared vision of peace, healing, or transformation, their combined intention can move mountains. This is the secret behind rituals, ceremonies, and mass meditations throughout history. The recognition that we are co-creators, weaving the fabric of reality together. In the next section, we will move from theory to practice, exploring concrete techniques and exercises that you can use to harness the power of visualization in your own spiritual journey. Prepare to step from the realm of mystery into the world of direct experience. Now let us step from the realm of theory into the living current of practice. For the true power of visualization is not found in words or ideas, but in the alchemy of direct experience. The ancients did not merely contemplate these mysteries, they lived them, breathed them, and wove them into the fabric of their daily lives. You too can awaken this dormant force, transforming your inner visions into tangible change. Begin with a simple exercise, one practiced by mystics and athletes alike. The sanctuary of the mind. Find a quiet space, free from distraction. Close your eyes and take a few deep, deliberate breaths. Imagine yourself entering a sacred place, a temple, a garden, a mountaintop, crafted entirely by your imagination. See every detail, the play of light, the textures beneath your feet, the scent of the air. This is your inner sanctuary, a place you can return to whenever you seek clarity, strength, or inspiration. With practice, this sanctuary becomes more vivid, more real, a wellspring of peace and power. Next, choose a vision you wish to manifest. It could be a goal, a quality, or a state of being. Picture it as clearly as you can, as if it were already true. If you seek confidence, see yourself standing tall, speaking with ease, radiating assurance. If you seek healing, imagine your body bathed in golden light, every cell vibrant and whole. Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, smell, taste? The more immersive the experience, the deeper its impact. Infuse your visualization with emotion. The heart is the engine of creation. It is feeling that gives life to form. As you hold your vision, allow yourself to feel the joy, gratitude, or peace that would arise if your vision were real. Let these emotions flood your being, anchoring the image in the depths of your subconscious. Repeat this practice daily, ideally at the same time and place. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to transformation. Over time, you may notice subtle shifts, new opportunities, changes in attitude, synchronicities that seem to guide you toward your vision. Trust these signs and continue to nurture your inner images with patience and faith. Yet, obstacles will arise. Doubt, distraction, and impatience are the shadows that test your resolve. When they appear, return to your sanctuary. Remind yourself that every great work is forged in the crucible of persistence. If your vision feels distant or unclear, do not force it. Instead, relax, breathe, and allow the image to emerge naturally, like a reflection on still water. For those seeking to deepen their practice, consider integrating visualization with other spiritual techniques. Pair it with affirmations, chanting, or breathwork to amplify its effects. Use symbols, colors, or sacred geometry to encode your visions with deeper meaning. Join with others in group visualization, harnessing the power of collective intention to magnify your results. Above all, Remember that visualization is not about controlling the world, but about aligning yourself with the deeper currents of creation. Sometimes, what manifests will surprise you, revealing hidden gifts or guiding you in unexpected directions. Approach the practice with humility, curiosity, and an open heart, and you will find that the true magic of visualization lies not only in what you create, but in who you become. As our journey through the mysteries of visualization draws to a close, let us pause and reflect on the secrets we have uncovered. We have wandered through ancient temples and sacred texts, glimpsed the mind's hidden architecture, and discovered that the images we hold within are not mere shadows, but seeds of creation. The power to shape reality, to transform the self and the world, lies not in distant heavens or the hands of fate, but in the luminous depths of your own imagination. Visualization is more than a technique. It is a sacred art, a bridge between the seen and the unseen, the possible and the actual. It is the language by which the soul speaks to the universe, and the universe in turn whispers back. When you dare to see with the inner eye, to feel with the heart, and to act with intention, you become a co-creator in the grand tapestry of existence. Remember, every vision, no matter how small, is a spark of the divine. The sanctuary you build within becomes a beacon, drawing forth opportunities, insights, and transformations that ripple outward into every corner of your life. The obstacles you encounter are not barriers, but invitations to deepen your faith, refine your focus, and surrender to the wisdom of the unknown. So, I invite you now, step boldly into the realm of your own imagination. Practice the techniques we have explored. Tend to your inner visions with patience and devotion. Watch as the world around you begins to shift, subtly at first, then with growing momentum, as your inner reality becomes your outer experience. The power of visualization is not a secret reserved for mystics or magicians. It is your birthright, waiting to be claimed. Will you dare to dream, to see, to create? The choice, as always, is yours. If this journey has stirred something within you, I encourage you to reflect, to experiment, and to share your experiences. The path of the visionary is one of endless discovery, and the next step begins with a single image held in the quiet sanctuary of your mind. Thank you for walking this path with me. Until our next exploration, may your visions be clear, your heart courageous, and your spirit ever open to the mysteries that await. If you'd like to explore more ancient wisdom and practical spiritual techniques, don't forget to subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments, and join our growing community of seekers. The journey has only just begun.